Afternoon, everybody. Gonna get started in a few seconds.
Good afternoon.
This is a repeat of the morning class or morning session. So you're welcome to be here. I'm not kicking anybody off. But if you feel like you got the hang of the morning session, then you don't have to be here. But if you want to be here, you're welcome to be here. Alrighty. Hi, Mrs. Warren Swan. All right. Um, so this is a workshop. This is the workshop on how to just, I guess, show you how to um, use your MOED Google account to be more, I guess, more productive or use it as part of your regular workflow. All right. So what I'm going to show you in this session is just how to access your account, how to use it as part of your workflow. But I am assuming this is going to assume that everybody has at least tried and can successfully access their MOED Google account. All right. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that this is not we're not using your personal account. So if my personal account is philtrot@gmail.com, your account does not look like that. It does not have the phrase gmail.com in it. All right. Everybody that has an MOED email address, you have a Google account that is now connected to that MOED email address. All right. So for me to sign into my Google account, my work Google account, I am using my email address, which is pgtrot@moed.bm. So make sure that you are using your work email address to access your Google, or we call it G Suite account. Actually, they changed it now. It's Workspace, but nevertheless, same thing. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you, first of all, let me log out of everything so I can start fresh. Um, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just setting this up so I can start fresh and show you guys how I'm doing this. All right. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Share the desktop. And what we see right here is my personal Gmail account. All right. So this is when I click up in the top, you see my email address, philtrot@gmail.com. It is Philip with one L. Just putting that out there. My name gets spelled wrong all the time. So this is my personal Gmail account. If I go in here and click Gmail, I will go into my Gmail, my personal philtrot@gmail.com email address. All right. What we are doing is we have created a separate Google account that you can use for work, specifically for work, completely separate from your personal one. All right. And I'll explain why that's important in a second. So, what I'm going to show you is how to access your account and how to um, how to sign into the browser. What's called signing into the Chrome browser to personalize your experience in the browser just um, for your workflow. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to open a guest window. I'm in the Chrome browser right now, so I'm using Google Chrome browser. I'm not using Microsoft Internet Explorer or anything like that. I'm using the Google Chrome browser. All right. So I'm going to click on, keep doing that. click on my image. Actually, let me start from a different page. Let's start seeing it just so it's not confusing. All right, so I'm on a regular web page. Maybe I shouldn't have come here, all this Trump stuff. But I'm going to click up in the top right hand corner. You may not see an image of yourself. You may see a little icon, and I'll walk you through that in a second. But I'm going to click, go to guest. Now I'm in a guest window, and all of this stuff is fresh, right? So it's not using any of your browser history. It's not tracking any of your browser history. It's not saving anything. This is a fresh guest window. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to google.com and I'm going to click sign in. All right. So my email address is pgtrot@moed.bm. You notice that I did not put gmail.com. I'm using my work email. I know it sounds like I've said this a couple times, but trust me, everybody seems to, every time I have a session like this, somebody says, oh, it didn't work. You have to use your MOED email address. I'm going to hit enter or hit click next. I'm then going to put in my work password. Okay, now I am signed in to my account. How do I know? If I go to the little dots up there and click my account, you can see this is all my stuff. All right, I can go here and I can go to Google Drive, and I have all my work right here in Google Drive. Okay, so first step, use your work email and your password. Now I need to say this as well. If you have never done this before, if you have never signed into your Google account at all, your work Google account, you need to contact the IT department first. Their email address is help@moed.bm. And their phone number is 278, I think it's 3300. I think that's it. If it's not that, then it's 233,000. It's one of those two. But so I just put both of those in the chat. If you have not done that yet, you need to call the IT department and ask them to reset your email address. All right. Once they reset your email address, then you should be able to log into your work Google account. All right. I don't know why that is, but the way that we've set it up, they have to do a little like a reset on their end. And once they reset your account, it seems like we have so far had mostly no trouble with people trying to log into their work Google accounts. All right. So make sure, please, if it's the first time you're doing this, please make sure that all you have to do is send them an email and ask them to reset your email password so you can access your Google account. All right. That's the first thing. The second thing, and this one also trips up a lot of people. So if I am, let's say I'm in my work, I'm using my work account, my personal account, sorry. I'm using my personal account. So what Chrome allows you to do, Chrome allows you to sign directly into the browser. So you're not signing into a website. You're signing into the browser itself. You're signing into this thing right here. I'm not signing into CNN. I'm signing into the entire browser. What that means is that allows you to take over the browser, and that allows you, whatever you do in the browser is connected to your Google account, whether it's your personal Gmail or your work Google account. Whatever you do stays or can be saved to that account. What does that mean? I have all these bookmarks in my bookmarks bar. All right. Does everybody see these bookmarks that I have? If I sign out of this browser and I come to your computer that I've never seen before, and I sign into the Chrome browser using my email address and my password, after a few minutes, all of these bookmarks are going to pop up, and they're gonna show up on the browser as if it's my own browser. The browser on your computer will look exactly like my browser. So we'll have all these same little extensions. It'll have all these same bookmarks. And you say, well, I didn't put those bookmarks there. I know you didn't. I put them there because they are part of my account. I have signed into your browser with my account, my credentials. I can also sign out of your browser with my credentials. All right. So that allows you to save your history. You know, when you start going in eventually and start typing something that I go, sorry, so fantasy football. I come to this one all the time, fantasy football, right? If I just type FA, it knows I'm looking for one of these family or fantasy football sites or maybe Facebook, right? But that's because I've used this browser many, many, many times, and now it's starting to understand what I'm looking for. All right. It also saves usernames and passwords. So if I go to my webmail, you'll see that my username and my password is already there waiting for me. All right. This is not Google tracking you and stalking your account or whatever. Your details are saved directly to the browser, just the same way your details are saved to maybe your phone. All right. Once you log into something with your credentials, you can start saving stuff to that device or that platform so that the platform starts to understand what you're trying to do. All right. So you can do that. I'm doing this right now with my personal account. You can also do that with your work account. The problem is people don't do it correctly. All right. So some people, you can manage multiple accounts, but most, I would say 80% of the people are doing it wrong. You're doing it where it's not working to your full benefit. So I'll show you this. You see this little icon up here. You may not see it. It may be a silhouette. It may be a picture that you put there. It may say guest. All right. But this up in the top right hand corner is where you want to be. Where you do not want to be, where do I want to go? Let's say I'll go to drive. Where you do not want to be is here. Okay. So we have this little one up the top. We have this big one down the bottom. Do not use this one at all. What people do is they click on this big one, they say manage your Google account, and then they add a different account down here and think that, oh, now I'm in my other one, I can just use this. That's not how it works, because I have signed, what's happened is I have signed into the website. I have not signed into the browser. And you'll see the difference in a minute. Right here, you see where it says G Suite? It shouldn't say G Suite. What it should say is Bermuda Public Schools. All right. So a lot of people, they'll go here and then they'll go use this to switch back and forth, and it doesn't work the way that you're supposed to do it. And no matter how many times I give this talk, it's always somebody that comes back and says it doesn't work. All right. I know we go into the workshops and we try to multitask. I need everybody, please, just to give me 2 minutes and just follow exactly what I'm doing. All right. I am not going to sign in using this big one right here, right? Because the other part is that if I go to another website, right, that icon's gone. I accept. That icon's gone. This is the one that you need to use. It's either going to be a little silhouette image or it's going to be a face of an account that you're already using. This is the one that you want to use. All right. Now, what you're going to do is when you go to this little icon at the top, not the big one, the little one, you're going to go to, I have a lot in here. Don't worry about them. Everybody's doesn't always look this messy. But what you're going to do is you're going to go down to where it says add. And what we're doing now is we are adding a second profile to our Google Chrome browser. All right. You're going to give it a name. Don't give it your own name. Give it the name of wherever you're using it. So if I was working for the Bermuda Hospital Board, I would call it BHB. All right. So I'm working for Ministry of Education. I'm going to call it MOED. You can pick up image if you want. You don't have to. I'll pick the panda this time. Then you're going to click on add. A whole new screen or a whole new window is going to open up. Once you, hold on. Oh, okay. Bay, I see a question about the Gmail. Give me a second. And I'll answer that. All right. So once you get to this window, you're going to click sign in. This window again is going to ask you for your email and password. All right. Remember, we are not entering our Gmail address. We are entering in our work MOED address. So mine is ptrot@moed.bm. Put my password in. And then this window is going to come up. All right. Link your Chrome data to this account. What this is asking is, do you want to link whatever you end up doing in this browser to your account that you're now logging into? The answer is yes. All right. So in order to do that, you're going to go to link data. All right. Now, just want to understand. Okay. It's going to ask turn on sync. Just click yes, I'm in. If you go to settings, you can adjust exactly what you want to sync, but we can get to that in a second. So I'm going to go to yes, I'm in. And now you can see that my bookmarks bar is now set up to the way I had it before I logged out of this thing to show you. All right. So all these extensions are still, I have to enable all of these again. So what's happening right now is that the browser is, okay, remove. The browser is configuring itself to work to whatever settings you had set up before. And you're going to see this whenever you log into a new browser for the first time. It's going to start loading up all the bookmarks that you had before. It's going to start loading up all these extensions that you may have had before, right? And that's how it starts to configure itself to your specific settings. So if you have, let's say, teachers pay teachers, what's that website? All right, so I'm gonna go to teachers pay teachers. Let's say I go to this website all the time. I'm gonna drag this into my bookmarks bar, and I'm now gonna, just to show you again, actually, I'm going to show you how to remove yourself right now. So I'll show you, and then I'm going to go back in again. And what I'm going to do is, when I go back in, I'm just going to show you that this teachers pay teachers one shows up again. All right. So what I'm going to do is click on my little small face again. I'm going to go to the gear icon, and I'm going to remove myself. So click on the one you want to remove this person. This person's browsing data will be deleted from this device. All right. So this is saying that everything, whatever I saved on here, is going to be deleted from this computer. Remove this person. All right. So that profile that I just logged into doesn't exist on this computer again. All right. Just to show you again, I'm going to add it back, and you're going to see the teachers pay teachers bookmark is going to be right there again where we left it. So add a person, MOED, add, sign in. Whoops. link data. Yes, I'm in. And my bookmarks come back, appear back. My Teachers Pay Teachers is there. And this browser is set up exactly how I wanted it to be set up. All right. So what that does is, now, why is that helpful? That's helpful because I now have access. Let's say I've been teaching for 15 years. I now have access because of all my stuff. I'm saving it on Google Drive. I have access to all of my work whenever I want it, wherever I want it. And I don't have to carry around any disk drives. I don't have to carry around any USB drives. I don't have to use Citrix. If something, God forbid, happened with my computer blew up, all of my work is still exactly where I saved it. All right. So all your work is safe. Nobody has access to your work or your account or anything in your account except you. All right. So unless you share something with somebody, nobody can get into it. Share something means either a file or share your password with them for some reason. Nobody can get into your account. Your account is your account and nobody else can get into it. All right. Let me just see a couple questions in. Okay. Yes, this is recorded. What happens when you log in using your MOED credentials? And we are sorry, but you do not have access to Gmail. I'll show you what that looks like. So you don't have access to Gmail. The reason for that has to do with the IT department. So because our email is currently being managed by Outlook, right? You don't want to run your email through multiple platforms, all right? Because that's a security risk, it's dangerous, it's confusing. So we are going to continue using Outlook and not Gmail. So that's why Gmail is turned off, because I didn't want anybody to get confused. All right. Gmail is the only one Gmail and Google Classroom are the two platforms that we're not using. We're not using Google Classroom because we're going to be utilizing Schoology. All right. And we're not using Gmail because IT is still managing our email through webmail. So Gmail doesn't work and Google Classroom doesn't work. Will I still be able to use this even though I'm no longer for MOED, for example? I think you mean, okay, so once you retire, same thing happens with your work email address. If you have a work email address, then I'm assuming they turn it off. If you want to save the stuff that's in your Google account, there are ways to save it, and I'll show you that in a second. All right. So let's assume that we have all logged into our Google account, our work Google account, and we're in and we're happy and everything's working, right? There are several ways to get to some of the applications that we need to go to. All right. So let's say, I need to go to another website. Sorry. Let's go to Burn News. And let's say I'm on a site, any site, and I need to get to my Gmail or my Google Drive or whatever. You can click, I have an extension here. You can install the extension if you want. Just close that. There is a little button over the left-hand side in your bookmarks bar that says apps. If you click on this, it will take you to a window that has access to all your applications, the main applications that you might want to use. All right. So we're gonna go to Google Drive. And once I'm in Google Drive, I now have access to all my work that I've been doing and all my files and everything. You'll know that you are in your work Google Drive because you'll see the little Bermuda Public Schools logo in the top right-hand corner. Remember, This is not the way that we're going to manage multiple accounts. We're managing multiple accounts using the small icon at the top. All right. Once we're in our Google Drive, then we can access a lot of the other apps that we might need to access. All right. So if you click on the right-hand side and click on these little 9 dots over here, if you click that open, you'll see access to a bunch of the other apps that you might need to access. All right. The ones that we're going to focus on right now are the ones at the top: Google Drive, Docs, Sheets, Slides, maybe Calendar, we'll throw that in there, Google Chat, and Google Meet, and Google Sites. All right. All of these are accessible as soon as you go in there. All right. Now, if I am, let's say I'm on a regular site, if I need to start for whatever reason, oh, I need to just jot down some notes. I'm going to open up a new tab, and the best place for me to start writing down notes is in Google Docs, right? And this is why I like Google Docs more than Microsoft Word, because it's readily at my fingertips at any time. If I type in docs.new and hit enter, I'm already in a word processing document, and I can start typing. Hello world. Signed, Philip Trott. Right? And I'm already started typing. And you see how fast that is. All right. This is one of the reasons that we're trying to implement this for the students as well. Because if you've ever taken a student to the computer lab, we got to wait for the computers to turn on, then sign in, and then open up Word. And you see how slow that can be. All right. If the computers are already on, then the students just need to sign into their account. They start typing docs.new, and they have a Word document that they can start writing in. If I open up a new tab and type sheets.new, within less than 3 seconds, I have a spreadsheet. If I type in slides.new, I now have a presentation that I can start working on. All right, so this is very quick, very easy, and very easily accessible. Now, let's say I call this my ELA assignment, right? This is another thing that I like. If you type something in here without, up here is the actual file name of the document, right? If I type something in there and just click in here, then it's going to take that first line as the title. All right. Now you notice that the other thing that I like about this is I don't have to save anything, right? So if I start typing, and just keep your eye on this part where it says last edit was seconds ago. I am typing something right now, right? Oh, sorry, not right there. This, I meant to put it up here. All right. So this is where I want you to look, this little cloud. So I'm typing, I am typing something again, and you'll see that it's continuously saving. All right. So what happens is now, if I need to go back into my Google Drive, I can open up a new tab and type in drive.google.com. And the documents that I just typed, that I just created, these ones won't be in there because I haven't typed anything in there. All right, so there's nothing to save yet. So if I was to just close these, I don't have to throw it in the trash, nothing. They just don't exist. But I started typing in this one, so it started saving. All right. Now, I have it set up so that my folders come up first, and then all my other stuff comes down here. But if you look right here, my ELA assignment at 158. All right. And if you want to find it easier, just come over to the left-hand side and click recent, and you'll see it right here. Okay. So very quick, Everything gets saved to your Google Drive immediately, instantaneously. All right. I see somebody has a question. Can you repeat the startup process? I will at the end. I'll show you. All right. Um, so why do we need to use a work Google account and not why can't I use my personal Google account or my personal Gmail account or whatever? Because a lot of this stuff actually exists in your Gmail. So if you have a Gmail account, you actually have access to all of these Google Drive, Doc Sheets, like calendar, chat, meet, sites. You have access, YouTube. You have access to all of this stuff, right? So what's the difference? The difference is that this setup allows us to manage. This is called a managed Google account. So if you forget your we can manage the accounts from the department side. So if you forget your password, we can reset it. If a student forgets their password, we can reset it. If a student needs a new account or needs to be removed, or a teacher needs to be removed because they retire, or we get new people in, we can manage all that stuff. We can also close our moed.bm space, Google space. We can close that off from everything else, or a lot of other things. I won't say everything, but a lot of other things online on the internet. So we can actually block students from receiving emails outside of anybody that has moed.bm. All right. So that's a layer of protection for our students. But in order for you to collaborate with them and to work with them, you need to be inside this little bubble as well. All right. So think of it as like our moed.bm is Bermuda and the internet is the rest of the world infected with coronavirus. All right. They can still come here, but they got to go through a bunch of protections to try and get here. And then even then, we may not still let them in. All right. So there's a lot of protection in the way between what happens in here and what happens outside of moed.bm. Also, what you have for Google Drive is you have what are called shared drives. All right. So shared drives allow you to share documents with your coworkers. So let me see which school is in there. Da, 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 da. Okay, B, you're at, no, you're at Sands. Anybody here? I need a primary school. Just type a primary school name in the chat. Anybody except Francis Patton, because I did Francis Patton this morning. Northlands, perfect. All right, so we have a shared drive, and I'm gonna do a scenario where I am the principal at Northlands Primary. Because I have, and who told me that, by the way? I have to go back to the chat. Okay, let's try it. I'm gonna add you. Are you working at Northlands?
I'm subbing, so I
You're
get
subbing
you.
at Northlands. Fine, no problem. All right. So well, you're on there and you're working at Northlands, and I'm the principal at Northlands. I am going to create a new, so in my Google Drive space, I'm gonna click on new, and a window is gonna come up with shared drives. Now, the reason that came up is because I have highlighted shared drives over here, right? So shared drives is over here. I'm gonna click new shared drive, and I'm gonna call it Northlands staff. And you're gonna see a new shared drive popped up for Northland staff. Now I still have my SBG one here, and I have Northland staff here. All right. I'm going to add Miss Trot on there. Okay, Trot 5, there we go. And I'm gonna add Miss Hold Up on there because I know she's the acting principal. So I'm going to add both of them on there. All right. So now this shared drive is a great space for collaboration. And I'm going to just, anything I need to put in here, I can just put in here. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to file upload and I need to share some document. Let's say I have on here somewhere. I have a plan 2022 on there. Let's upload that. File not file. Hold on. File upload. Is my downloads? Maybe it's this one. Here we go. All right, so I uploaded this file, and this file can be anything. It can be um, staff document. It can be the handbook. It can be BUT agreement. It can be anything. Anything that you want to share with all your staff, you can put it in this drive. Now, let's say I'm the principal and I have a new teacher that's joining my staff. I can create a new folder in here and call it new employees, new employee documents. Right? And let's say I want to put the plan 2022 in there. If I'm a new teacher and say, hi, Mr. Trott, I'm new teacher at your school. Oh, awesome. Sign into your Google account, and we've added you to the Northland staff team drive or shared drive. Once you go in there, just look for new employee documents. Everything you need to get started is in there. Go through and read that, and then when you're finished reading everything, give me a shout and we'll talk some more. All right? You can share all kinds of stuff in here. Now, you can also share, some of you that are used to using this may be familiar with sharing documents from your personal drive. So you might say, like, what's the difference? Why do I need to do this? Because if I leave, or let's say manage members, let's say, and Ms. Trott is a perfect example. You're substituting. You might be at a different school next year, right? If I need to manage the members in this group, I can always go and say, Ms. Trott, she's left Northlands. Thanks for working with you. It was a great. We wish you the best. Maybe you're working now at
That's Pembroke.
West Pembroke. I can remove you from this shared drive because you don't need to be on there anymore, right? But everybody else in the school still has access. Everybody that's still working in there has access, right? No, I haven't removed you from Google Drive. All the stuff that is still in your drive, you still have access to. So anything that you saved in your drive is all still yours. All right. You can still use that and everything, but you won't have access to the Northland staff handbook or fire drill procedure or whatever have you. You won't have access to that stuff. All right. Let me just add you back. All right. And so send. So you should now, you'll see this go from 2 to 3 people. Now, I am let's say I'm the principal at Northlands and I'm getting moved somewhere else. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make Ms. Hilda the manager, and I'm going to remove myself. Click save. This will change your permission. I won't be able to share. Just give me a little warning. Yes, because I don't need to be in Northlands 1. And you'll see I can't, no longer permission. They can't find the folder. I'm not in there anymore. All right. But that shared drive still exists for the people that are working at Northlands. All right. So let me just go into the chat real quick and answer some questions. What happens when you retire? I think I answered that one. Um, if we have a personal account, will it sync with the school one? Nope. I showed that at the beginning. I'll show it to you again. But Google treats every single account as a separate person. So I have Phil Trot at Gmail. I have PG Trot at Moed. I also have PG Trot at Sans, or as I set up one for Sans. Um, it thinks all of those people are three different people. And so it won't, nothing syncs with other stuff. All right. You have to, the only way that works is if you share files from one account to another account. But you have to do that intentionally. Nothing automatically syncs from between accounts. All right. Um, if we leave, what would happen to everything that we created on the school one? Well, once, if you, I'm assuming you're talking about if you leave the system. If you leave the system and there's stuff, well, nobody, unless you do something really bad, nobody gets removed from the system without knowing that they're going to be removed, right? So if you know um, that you're retiring at the end of the year, what you can start to do is download all of the, or start moving, and there's a process for this. You can move the files that you want to keep to a personal drive, or sorry, to a personal hard drive, or you can move them to a personal Gmail account. You can move all of that stuff from one account that to another account, assuming that you have access to both accounts. All right. So there's a process for that, but if you are leaving, then I would say reach out to me before you go, so that I can help you. I can help you through that process. Um, and a similar question: how do I move from my personal to my school Google Drive? Same way. So same way that I just said, you can transfer files, you can download files directly. Let me show you how that works. So let's say I want to download this assignments folder, or everything that's in here. Let's say this is my test folder from this morning. Let's use that. So this folder is empty, right? If I wanted to put my assignments folder in this test folder and everything else that I want to take, I can just drop it in there. I'm going to undo that real quick. Well, let's assume that it's still in there. I can highlight this folder, go up to these little dots right here, and click download. And what that will do is it will compress everything, zip it, and then you will see, leave, yep, leave. And then you'll see that it now downloaded to my computer in a zip file. And all that stuff will be there waiting for you on your computer. And all you need to do, I'm just gonna remove this folder. I'm gonna open up the folder and you will see that it's called test folder 2, as I did it this morning. All you have to do is take this folder and drag it right to your new Google Drive, the one that you want to put it into, leave it there, and it's gonna upload. Now this upload took no time at all because this folder is empty. But want to, if you have stuff in it, like a lot of documents and a lot of images and whatever videos or whatever, you're gonna want to give this some time. So it may, depending on your internet speed, that could take a lot longer than what we just showed you. All right. So that is how you can move stuff from one platform to another. All right. I do have some other things that I want to show. Um, at Sans, no. So Mr. Felice says, at Sans, do we just share our Sans account with the Millhead one? No, you can't do that, because remember, each different domain is protected. So the Sans domain is protected from everything in COVID world, quote unquote, the same way that the MOED one is protected from everything else. And those two, just because they're both managed, doesn't mean that, oh, we can talk to each other. They are still very much separated. So in order to move stuff from your Sans one, you're going to have to do just what I just showed you. Put everything into one folder, download it, and upload it. There's also I want to show you another way, but I haven't quite, I'm not an expert in this one. There's also an option called Google Takeout. So Google Takeout allows you to um, choose what you want to pull from, what you want to download from your current account. So I'm just going to deselect all of them and scroll all the way down to my Google Drive. So let's say I only want to take stuff out of the Google Drive. I can click on that. Where's the other thing? And go to next step. And eventually, yeah, it'll just say export. Um, what file type? I would say keep it as a zip. And this is how big you want um this file to be. If you want 2 GB, 4, 10, or whatever, it can get pretty big, but you can choose the size that you want it to. And then anything over 2 GB will be split into a separate file or separate folder, right? So, but this is one way that you can download everything from one account to another account. All right. I do want to show you, we got about 15 minutes left. I want to show you something else that doesn't seem to get a whole lot of buy-in, and I think it's just the way that it's it's sold, I guess. But just really quick, if you put your hand up, if you have your camera on, you can put your hand up. If you don't have your camera on, then you can just give me a thumbs up in the chat. But thumbs up or hands up if you are in a WhatsApp chat group with some of your staff members. If you're in a chat group that you use for work, right? So you have a WhatsApp chat that that is just for your coworkers at your school or wherever you work. All right, and if so you all right, we got a couple yeses in the chat. Good stuff. Now I'm going to clear all and ask another question. Put your hand up if there is at least one person in that chat group that would not have your phone number if you didn't work with them. So if you did not work with at least one person in this chat group, there's very little chance they would have your phone number. Right. So phone numbers, very personal, right? In the dating scene, you got to do a whole lot to get somebody's phone number. You go to work with them. Hey, here's my phone number. Here's my phone number. Here's my phone number. Right. I believe in having a different level of privacy. And so that's why my alternative to that is Google Chat. And I'll show you what that looks like. So Google Chat is another one of the options that are bundled in with your account. And what that is, it says, all it is a chat that you have with your coworkers, and you can turn it on and turn it off as you need to. So if I want to be inactive, I can give myself, say I'm inactive for another 24 hours. All right. Benefits over WhatsApp. Nobody has your phone number. If you don't want to be active, you don't have to be. You can put yourself inactive. If you are in a chat group with, say, your boss, principal, or whatever, and they send you a message, there's nothing that indicates to them that you have seen that message. All right. So the same way it works with email, unless they put a read receipt on there. But if your boss sends you an email and you see it on set, let's say you happen to check your email on Saturday, you see it. You say, I'm not dealing with this email till Monday because I'm relaxing with my family or whatever. There's nothing that says to your boss, oh, they saw your email and ignored it. All right. This works the same way. If somebody sends you a message, there's nothing to say, oh, they saw that message and they ignored my message. All right. Also, you can create rooms. So if I wanted to, again, let's say create a Northlands staff room, right? And I added, let's say Linda again, and I added everybody else, right? There would just be a chat room for all the staff. So um the principal could send a message and say was going to be a fire drill in 5 minutes, and it will pop up. Everybody would see it in their Google chat or whatever. Or if something happened at school and the school needed to be locked down, but you didn't want to alert everybody or alert all the students or whatever, you could send a message to the entire staff. They would see it on their Google chat, whatever. No, every time um I start talking about Google Chat, people kind of back off and say, "Oh, I don't want to be in a chat group with my coworkers." Well, I started the conversation by saying who's in the chat with your coworkers. So you're already in the chat, right? Additionally, I know all of us have been in a situation where we're trying to do our work. We're trying to, it's tight, it's deadline time for grades. We're getting in, we're working, we're trying not to be disturbed. And what the groups are going off, WhatsApp going off, and you're not sure if it's the family or your coworkers trying to reach you or whatever. And the WhatsApp groups can get distracting. I can take my phone and put my phone on silent, put it in the next room, and completely ignore it, and still have access to my coworkers if somebody needs to reach me. I have I can use Google Chat right in the browser with no disturbances. I know you can use WhatsApp in the browser as well, but you can use Google Chat in the browser. It works online, and you can be completely focused on work. You can even collaborate with somebody at your school through Google Chat and not have to worry about the 20 other chat groups that you're in WhatsApp buzzing off and sending, God bless you videos and the accident pictures and all that stuff. All of that stuff is to the side, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. All right. So I am a big proponent of Google Chat. The other one that I'm going to show you is Google Meet, which works the same way. Um, sorry, kind of works the same way, but it's a free alternative to Zoom. Everybody has access to it. If you start, it's very easy to start a meeting. You can say, just call it Phillips meeting. Oh, can't use apostrophe. Phillips meeting, continue. And all I have to do is give this little code to somebody else to join the meeting. All right. And it's very easy to invite. If I need to go into Google Calendar, I can create a meeting. Let's say I create a meeting for Wednesday. I can add Google Meet directly to the meeting, and we can anybody that I add as a list right here. So I add Mr. Felice, and we'll set up a meeting for tomorrow. Add Google Meet conferencing. He'll get this invite, and it will pop up. It actually will pop up in his MOED email. So even though we're not using Gmail, you'll still get the notification in your work email. All right. And so we can set that up. And if I click save, then he'll get the notification, and all it does is pops up, and he can just click join the same way that we do with Zoom. All right. I think I went through a lot. This is recorded. I will send the recording out. Oh, attendance. Let me just do the attendance real quick. Hold on. While I'm getting this, feel free to ask any questions. I did see some in the chat. I didn't get a chance to look at them just yet. I'll look at them in a second. Okay, so here is the attendance link. All right. Um, how do we set this up? I'm not sure. This was a while ago. Wait, what were you asking this about? It's questions from Sylvia. Bay asks, is this the same as Hangouts? Hangouts is so Google does this weird thing where they make multiple platforms that overlap. So Hangouts kind of does the same thing, but Google Chat, I think the way that they're moving now is Google Chat and Google Meet are going to replace Hangouts, right? So you can, oh, by the way, all of these apps, Google Docs, Sheets, Drive, Chat, Meet, all of these apps are able, you can download them directly to your phone as each as separate apps. So if I was to message somebody in Google Chat, it would pop up on their phone. If I was to start a video conference with them, it would start a video conference on their phone. And, it's very mobile, very lightweight stuff, and very quick and easy to use. So I hope I answered your question about Hangouts. Sylvia, you there? I wasn't just want to what were you asking about setting up? I know somebody what I'll do. Make sure I did put the attendance form in the chat, so make sure that you sign that. Somebody asked at the beginning, could I go through the setup process again? So I'm gonna go through that. I'll show you. Let me just unset up my space again. Um, yeah, that's dumb. All right, so share screen. Just gonna walk you through it one more time. So if you are, this can be from if I'm logged into my personal account or if I am just logged into a guest account. I'm gonna click on this top button at the little one at the very top. I'm gonna click on that and I'm gonna click down, or go all the way down. I'm click add. I'm going to give my new account a name, call it Moed. Once I'm there, once this window opens up, I'm gonna click sign in. Put my work email in there and my password. It's gonna come up, it's gonna say link data. Yes, I'm in. And you'll see my my bookmark come up. Oh, there's something else that I wanted to show you. Very last thing. So we are using Schoology as our learning management system. And for the most part, when you're in Schoology, you have to click login and you have to put in your username and password. If you are signed into the browser, like I showed you how to do, okay, if you are signed into the browser, and if you go to bdamoed dot schoology.com, you will be taken directly to a single sign-on screen. All right, this is called a single sign-on or SSO screen. Because I'm signed into the browser, it automatically detects that this is an option for me to sign into Schoology. So without having to put in my username and password, I just have to click on my account name right here because I'm already signed into the browser and I'm now in Schoology. No password, no anything that I need to put in. All right, so that's another one of the benefits of using Schoology. This also works for the students. So if the students are signed in to the browser themselves, and if you have a student at home, you can sign up your student as well. So You can call it student and have the student sign in as student name at moed.bm. It says it can't because it, obviously I just made that up. But if you put in your student's email address and their password, then the same thing will happen. A new account will be created, and um, and they'll have a completely separate user account in your browser, and everything that they do will be attached to that profile. Everything you do will be attached to your profile. Nothing will mix, and everybody can do whatever they need to do. All right. Where can we, I'll have to email out a link to the recording. If you fill out the form, then I'll be sure to have everybody's email address, and I can email it out. All right. Or I can at least tell you where you can find the recording. All right. Any other questions, everybody? Just over an hour. If there's no other questions, I'm happy to stay on for a few minutes if there are questions. If not, you're welcome to leave. Enjoy the rest of your day, and enjoy another PD field day tomorrow.
Yeah, Mr. Troy, yeah, I have a question.
Hey, no problem.
From the beginning, there are two tabs you said, a smaller circle and a larger circle.
Yes.
So which one am I, which am I hitting
Let me
first?
let me show you because I did have a give me 1 second. I did have a slide deck that I was working on that kind of shows what you need to do.
Because the thing I'm working from my phone, watching from my phone, but I got my
Oh,
computer just,
yeah.
so it's
None
kind
of
of
this
hard to
that
see.
won't work. None of
But no,
this.
but I'm on my computer now. I'm on my
Oh,
computer
okay, okay,
now.
okay. No problem.
So
It's a whole different workshop to show you how to work it on your phone. But
okay, cool.
I will show you how to sign into the Chrome browser.
Okay, no, probably better. Can you send that out
Yeah, I'm
like
gonna
step
send
by
this out
step?
as well.
Okay, I'm good then. I'm good. I check it later. You can
All
enjoy
right,
the rest of your afternoon.
no problem.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Um,
I,
any other questions?
I didn't see two bros, two
I can't hear you.
I just saw one icon on my screen. I just see two images.
You say you see what?
Just one image of myself when I press that when I go into the Google.
Okay, um which one do you see? The big one or the small one?
I think it's a small one next to some icon next to the three dots.
Like this right here. Look at my screen. Like this part up here. You see this, like your picture here, and then this.
Yeah.
All right. When you click on this picture, what email shows up?
E-doors, everything.
At what?
Gmail.
Right. So that's not the one that you want to use. So stay there, and I'll show you. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So what you're gonna do is, so you see this little thing right here, and you click this, and you see something similar right here, right?
Yeah.
So what you're gonna do is come down and click add.
Right. I just did that.
And what happened?
I got my email. I sent a request into the help desk.
Right,
They reset the password.
right.
And so I clicked on add. But when I added it, it didn't change anything.
I didn't catch the last bit.
So even though I added it, nothing changed in the end.
Right, so you have to go through the whole process.
Right, I went through the whole process.
Okay, and so you did all this, click add, and then click sign in, and then you put your work email right here.
Yeah,
So
password.
And nothing changed?
I mean, there's, when I go back to the very beginning, it does have, other people says Everton at MOED.
Up in here, down where it says other people.
Yeah,
Right. So you click on the Everton at MOED and it opens up a new window that will operate separate from your eDoors at Gmail.
okay. All right,
Does that make sense?
yeah,
So you'll end up having two windows open.
okay,
Because if you see, like I have this window and then I have this window as well. And these are completely separate.
okay,
Right. So if I need to, for example, let's say if I go to American Airlines or whatever, right? My stuff is still in here, right? Because it's saved to my account,
okay,
right? But if I go to aa.com here, this is considered, my work email is considered a completely different person. It might as well be you, right? So it doesn't know, nothing gets transferred back and forth. So if none of my stuff or my username not here, my password is not in there, it just thinks it's a completely separate, brand new person. So the reason what I'm saying is we want to start keeping our work stuff separate from our personal stuff. And this is the best way I know how to do it.
okay,
All right. So if you ever see one and you need to get to the other one, just go click on that little thing, go to other people and find the one that's your work one. Or if you're in the work one, just go in there and find the one that's your personal one.
okay,
And you'll be able to, it's easy. Like all I'm doing right now is hitting command and what is it on there? It's like a little apostrophe tilde maybe. But all I'm doing is using a keyboard shortcut and I can switch back and forth just like this.
okay,
All right.
cool.
Any other questions? Anybody else? Any more? If not, I will. Let me stop the recording.
I have one quick question.
Sure, Ms. Hassel.
So I went and I added the new account, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I have two browsers, one with the picture, my picture, and then picture that I created. But when I click on the little one that I just created, it doesn't say an email. Like, when it says not signed in, what do I have to do after that?
Which one are you?
I'm gonna
I
go
would
to
need
Chrome.
I need to see what you. Can you share your screen?
Let's say, we don't do Gmail anymore, it's managed by the, Outlook. So the Gmail is off.
Yeah, the Gmail's off.
So
Oh,
that's where you
You're
can.
you should instead of using Gmail, we're sticking with the webmail for now.
oh, I didn't put in any email.
No, I know. I was just telling Mr. Dawes.
Oh, okay.
But let me
Share my
1 second.
screen.
Are you able to